Hey, all you mamas and papas out there. The Early Intervention Brothers, we're back. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. Share it on all your social media platforms. We want to spread the word about early intervention as much as possible.
We'd like to take this moment and talk about telehealth.
Telehealth because of the coronavirus. With this pandemic, it's affected millions and millions of people. In our particular industry, being home visitors, early interventionists, we've had to adapt much like a lot of people have. So right now, we want to talk about how our transition has been with telehealth.
A lot of the things that we do are very transparent as far as coaching the parent, but we're sort of limiting one of the biggest tools of our intervention, and that's connecting and being present in that moment.
That's a big factor. Being a home visitor, we're pretty much coaches, we're supporters. We're there to show the techniques and strategies to the families that we're working with. Now, with us no longer being able to go into the home, we're having to adjust, we're having to work on new skills, and it's making things a little bit more difficult for us. Well, not only for us, but for the client that we're there to serve and the families. But many of the families, they've transitioned well. They've learned to pretty much apply what we've been showing them over the course of the services that we've been providing to them. And a lot of the families are really succeeding, and it's a great thing to be able to experience. Transitioning from direct service in the home, which is what a vendor is, it's a service provider, it's providing a direct service. No longer being able to provide that direct service really enables us to do what we're great at doing, which is providing the direct service. Now we're having to utilize our ability to communicate to parents to what it is that we want to see them doing. It should transition over to a lot of other areas because we're pretty much coaching. We're watching every second of what the parent's doing via telehealth and providing them support, coaching, even critiquing. But it's not to do it in a bad way. It's to help the parent work with their child. I mean, that's really why we're in the home. We're there to help the parent help their child in order to progress in their development.
Now, that takes a lot of real commitment on both sides, on the vendor side, on the specialist side, and on the family side. We know some cases where the family just wants you to work with the child, and that's not something a true specialist is there for. The specialist is there to guide you as the parent to fulfill these development levels with your child. Now, yes, that's a lot more hands-on because you have to really be committed to trying to follow through maybe those critiques, maybe the transitions that the specialist is having you try to attempt. It does take a lot more commitment on your side. One, you have the time because of the coronavirus, everyone should be home.
A vast majority of people should be home.
A vast majority. If you're not an essential worker, yes. So we know you're home. Consistency. And how consistent are you with the strategies? Are you with implementing the new techniques that your specialist is having you follow through with? Now, I always tell my parents straight up, if you want results, you'll apply and you'll be consistent.
And consistency is the name of the game with anything. If you stay consistent, you're going to learn what it is that is needed. If you stay consistent with the services that you're receiving, if you're applying it 24/7, if you get everyone in the household, everyone who comes into contact with your child doing what it is that the therapist is there showing you, you're going to see progress because the entire world, the entire environment around your child is now changing and everyone is doing the same thing. So we're no longer responding to when your child's screaming for something. We're waiting it out. We're help shaping a specific word. Maybe they want milk. And for many years, crying's gotten them the milk. And now, having them say milk or meh or some type of sound that we can connect it now gets them the milk and no longer the crying. But it isn't easy. There's going to be abuelitas that are going to walk in and grab up that crying baby or have that milk in hand and directly give it to them because they know that's what the child wants. But it doesn't stop the behavior of crying.
So as a specialist, one of the bigger transitions for myself due to this whole coronavirus and providing teleservices is making sure the family actually logs on when they're supposed to. Usually I would show up to the home, knock on the door, and mom or dad are present with the child. Well, now it's a little bit different. You have to really commit to that time that the vendor's giving you in order to follow through with the strategy.
One of the hardest things for me, I've always prided myself on being a home visitor. And when I can no longer be in the home, that kind of takes away what I'm really good at doing. In this transition in learning how to use telehealth, I'm learning new skills about myself. I'm definitely sitting back a little bit more and observing a lot more without saying anything, because parents are providing the service now. They are doing what I would have been doing in the home. And it's a different perspective. And for me, even though coronavirus has completely flipped the world upside down, it's helping me see that, okay, I need to listen a little bit more. And that helps me be able to guide the parents that I'm there to help a ton. So I'm trying to find the silver lining in this. And I think that's what it is for me. It's knowing that I need to observe a little bit more and not have instant answers, but kind of let what I'm watching and observing marinate for a minute, and then kind of moving forward with the advice or the guidance.
I think that's the challenging part, is taking you physically out of the home and putting you in a phone or in a computer. That's the challenging part for us specialists. How do we continue to give good communication, hands-on support when it's through a screen or a computer? So yeah, observing would be something you can fall back to help, us as providers, to help the family, because yeah, mamas and papas are the ones doing the real heavy work, and that's how it should be.
And as a provider, as a vendor, we need to be conscious of that. Not only are we having to do things differently, but now the parents are having to do things differently as well. Having compassion, having empathy for the situation, it's a big factor in being a good home visitor. We're having to take that to the next level. Our families are now responsible for providing the service. Now it's 100% the parent, which is what these services are meant to do. It's to help educate the parents. And for those parents who bought into the system, they're taking off, they're doing well, they're doing a great job with it. But there's still that lack of presentness. And I think a lot of our families not necessarily become dependent, but they get used to that support. It's like walking on a tightrope where you have that net on the bottom. Now there's no net, it's all you. And taking the time as a professional to talk with the parents via telehealth and letting them know that even though I'm not present there, please know that I'm supporting you in every possible way that I can. And good providers, we figure out ways to connect with our families. We figure out ways to let the parents know that we're still there to support. We're just having to do a little bit more talking in order to kind of get that feeling there.
I know as a specialist, one of the biggest tools for me during this telehealth is parent report. And that's you guys as parents describing to me what's going on in the home, day by day, moment by moment, different behavior, in and out. It gives me a better understanding of what your child's feeling and how we can apply pressure in the sending and receiving of communication, or even the transitions of going from one preferred toy to a non-preferred activity. It helps me help you by you giving me details on what's going on. I think with any family, if you can give us more input, more detail on exactly what's going on, you're going to get services from vendors that are going to be able to help, because you're giving them the vital artery of information.
So during these times, coronavirus times, it hasn't been easy. It's not going to be easy in the near future. But as long as we continue to communicate with the parents that we're there to serve, the children that we're there to serve, it's only going to help us adapt and evolve. And once things do get back to normal, it's only going to make us better technicians. The service is only going to be that much more potent, because now the parents have that experience of being a provider. And we can just take the level up a notch. We can take the services to new heights. Hopefully you guys like this. Please subscribe, share, thumbs up, hit the bell, do what you got to do on YouTube. We're going to continue to provide as much information as possible. It's free information. If you know someone who may need it, please send it to them. It's not that hard to copy the link to our YouTube and send it to them so they can watch it.